Hello, everybody. I'm back. Hello, good people. I hope your day was a good day. Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a story time of when I worked for an insurance company back in the day. Oh, goodness, my experience with it. Well, I would say my experience with the new supervisor that came on board. Okay, one of us, y'all. Okay, let's get into the story. I'm not going to say the name of the insurance company, but it is a well known insurance company. I really enjoyed the 2.5 years that I worked there. It was really fun and it was an experience. Okay, you go through the formalities of getting hired and everything. I worked in the mailroom. It was a pretty nice sized mailroom, and they had several long tables from the entrance all the way to the back by the lockers. I'll tell you what was up with the lockers. And every morning when you come in, you would have to put your purse, your bag, whatever you had in the lockers and lock them up. We couldn't have it at our workstation or anything. No type of bag, purse, whatever. Because prior to me being hired, there were a few people that were stealing. Now, this insurance company was where people would mail in money orders, or even some people would put actual money in the envelope along with their premium payments for that particular month. So when we come across any money that was in the envelopes, we would have to immediately hold the envelope, the premium stub, and the money up so whoever was walking through the mailroom, which were security guards, would come over and take us to another area, and we would have to sign and let them know that yes, we received money in the envelope. But like I said, prior to me coming there, I guess people were caught stealing. Okay, it ain't that serious. So, doing my job, and I was responsible for morning and afternoon mail, trays and trays of mail that would come in. The envelopes would already be open because it went to another department that would do whatever they did, and then it would come to where I was working, and we go through the envelopes and take out the money order or the money and their premium statement, and write it down, that name and what they paid, how much they paid. I don't know how true it was, but I heard talk for the time that I was there that Miss Whitney Houston, bless her soul, God rest her soul, she was at one time a person who got insurance through this particular company. Don't know, never came across her name. But anyway, there was also talk throughout the company that I'm going to call her Miss Johnson. Miss Johnson, Caucasian older lady, she was on the verge of retirement. I guess she had been with the company for years. So she did retire, and there was another lady who was going to be taking her place. One of us, like I say. And she had a reputation that a lot of people didn't like. She appeared to be nice, cool, whatever, down to earth. But I found out different later. So every day I would come to work, she would speak to everybody. But it seemed like she kind of took to me. I don't know why, but she did. And we're going to call her Beverly. But Miss Beverly would take to me. And there was one occasion, I would take the bus to work, but there was one occasion she actually brought me home from work. And I took the ride, I kind of felt like, my boss bringing me home. But let me backtrack. Miss Johnson, she did retire. We had a retirement party for her. It was, I want to say about 10, maybe 15 people that worked in my department. So, fast forward. Miss Johnson eventually she retired, she left. So Miss Beverly took over. You know, and this is during the winter time. I don't know who in their right mind could work in the wintertime in air condition. And when you're working in like I want to say, like a factory somewhat setting, the air, they got the air conditioner on, so it's not heating up where you can work comfortably. It was so cold to really all of us had to get our coats and jackets, to put on and do our work. And a couple of us had gloves on, and I'm a cold natured person anyway. I don't like to be cold. And I voiced my opinion. We kept talking about it, throughout us working together. And some of the employees that I work with seemed like they were afraid to speak up. Mind you now, I did get this job through an employment agency. It was like a 30-day, 60-day trial period to see how you do. You do good, then you're hired on with the company. So, down the line, I tried to be, how can I say, the employee that just take it, but then I got to the point where I couldn't take it. Some of the things that were happening. So I noticed that there were a couple of other employees. Once Miss Beverly came on board and she took Miss Johnson's place after she had retired, they didn't like it. So they put in their resignation and they left, and I'm like, why are they leaving? And, you hear a little talk here, a little talk there. Yeah, she coming on. Don't nobody like her. I found out why. It was like Miss Beverly was a butt kisser, if you get my meaning. And she would do anything to keep her position. Whatever they told her to do, she did it, no matter who she offended. So this particular day, I had became cool with a couple of co-workers there. We would go to lunch together. But this particular day, it was so cold outside and the air conditioner was on. I can't work in conditions like that. So I voiced my opinion to my coworker that sat next to me. Miss Beverly was walking through. Periodically, she would walk through the mail room, making sure everything running smoothly, checking on us and everything. So when I said what I said, which was, I wish they would turn the daggone air off. It is cold as hell in here. How do they expect us to work? And she heard me. So she says, is there a problem? Looking at me. And I said, yes, there is a problem. So she said, well, you can follow me, Merriman, to my office. I said, okay. So I got up and followed her to office. We get to her office and she's asking me what's wrong. I said, well, number one, it's cold. How do y'all expect for us to work in cold conditions? It's wintertime. Is there any way that you can ask maintenance to turn the air off? Where's the heat? I guess she didn't like what I said. So her response was, she'll see what she could do. And I said, okay. She said, well, is there, in a snotty way, like, is there anything else that I can help you with? I said, no, I just want the air to be turned off. I just feel like, why do y'all have the air on in the wintertime anyway? So I go back to my workstation. Lunchtime comes. I get on the elevator with two of my coworkers, and we're discussing it. Yes, and when I'm upset, yeah, my voice can be elevated some. So I didn't like it, and I felt like once we came back from work, I still had another 3 more hours to work in the cold. No, so go to lunch, come back. We in the elevator talking. I remember that. Go to lunch, come back. The air's still on. I get I already had my coat, but I go and I had to ask first because, couldn't get nothing out of our locker, especially purses like that. I get my gloves, my scarf, and I'm sitting there, barely could do any work because it's so cold. End of the day come. We get to go home. So again, we all in the elevator. Miss Beverly, she's still in the mail room, and I guess she's finishing up whatever, and she hear all of us talking in the elevator. Finally, I get home. My daughter says, some lady called here and told me to tell you, she said that she was your boss and told me to tell you that you don't have, this was on a Friday too, told me to tell you that you didn't have to come in on Monday. Your end of, your assignment was over. I'm looking like, excuse me? So I ended up calling her, and I didn't get her right away, left a message. She calls me back and wanted to know what was the issue with me voicing or talking about the air. I said, Miss Beverly, you should know that anyone working already is wintertime, and then the air conditioner is on. No one can work in conditions like that. It was so cold to the fingertip. My fingertips, I don't know about nobody else's, were pruning. It's like, really? I said, and I don't think that I was wrong for voicing my opinion. Not trying to overstep boundaries or be disrespectful, but all I asked was, can they turn the air off? So then, in a roundabout way, she was telling me that if I wanted to come back, I could. So I thought about that, and I said, well, let me ask you something. You're supposed to be my supervisor, correct? So why would you call and leave a message with my daughter, who's a minor, letting her know to tell her mother, who is me, that I'm fired? Basically, I'm like, you could have told me this before I left work. You let me work the whole rest of the day, then you call my daughter to tell me I'm fired. I didn't think that that was right. I said, you know what? Thank you, but no thank you. I will not be coming back. So I just wanted to share that story with you. And that was, oh my God, I want to say that job was back in 2009 to 2011, I was working there. So it was an experience for me, dealing with us in a high position, and I guess she thought that I was gonna kiss butt and say, yeah, I need the job, I'm coming back. Just like I got that one, I get another one, and I did. Oh, I just wanted to share this story with you guys. I hope you guys are having a blessed day and have had a blessed day. I will see you guys in another story time. Thank you for watching. Bye.